Okay, my brother-in-law Jeff requested to know some more chords he can play in open D tuning. So my tuning right now is D, A, D, F sharp, A, and D. So you're going to tune down the top two strings down a whole step, and the third string you're going to tune down a half step. Leave the fourth and fifth string alone, and the bottom string you're going to tune down a whole step. So you end up with three Ds, and you've got an F sharp in there, and you've got a couple A's. So it's just a total of 3 notes in here. Okay, so that opens up some possibilities, but it also closes quite a few. For example, I saw a Dolly Parton years ago on the Johnny Carson show, and she brought a guitar with her, and she had nails that were literally like 2 inches long. And I'm like, how is she going to play guitar? And then she pulled it out and it was tuned to open D, and she just did. The song was just required a 1 chord in D, a 4 chord G, and a 5 chord A. And you could do this in any key. So in other words, if you were playing the key of G, the 1 chord would be here, G, and up here at the 10th fret would be your C chord, which would be the 4 chord. And in here would be your 1 chord. Or if you want to, you could go all the way up here. Or I like to hit the harmonics, and when you hit that harmonic at the 12th fret or at the 5th fret, you also get a D chord. And if you hit the harmonics at the 7th fret, you get an A chord. And now, most of the time when someone has their guitar tuned in open D, they're going to do some kind of fingerstyle thing. Let's see. And so the reason you have it in open tuning is so that every note is good. You can just kind of play around and change one note. Okay, and you can make some pretty music without having a whole lot of effort. So it makes things a lot easier. Some things that are more difficult, though, for example, if we go to that G chord, bar the 5th fret, we've got a G chord. We've got G, D, G, B, D, and G. Well, to make that B minor or G minor, to make that a minor chord, we'd have to take the 2nd or the 3rd string down a fret. Well, that's, unless you have 6 fingers, you really can't do that. Now, you could do it. I could bring my thumb around and do that. So I'm playing on the 5th fret of the 4th string, then 4th fret, 5th fret, and 5th fret. Okay, and then on the 6th string, I'm grabbing with my thumb, and I'm grabbing that. So that would be G minor. Here would be F sharp minor. Here's B minor up here at the 7th fret. So I'm playing 7 and then nothing. I'm deadening the 5th string, and then 7, 6, 7, 7. Okay. And then if I want to go to the A, I can go like that, and G. And then if I want the F sharp minors, I can do that, and then E minor would be like this, and then D again. Okay. But that's not really why someone would tune in open D. The chords you're gonna want to gravitate towards are going to be more open, more ringy. There's going to be more kind of a D tonality to everything you do, and that's kind of the whole point. In the song "The Reach," that my brother-in-law loves this song. He loves Dan Fogelberg. Dan Fogelberg's great, and he uses open D tuning, but he capos at the 5th fret or the 3rd fret. So he gets this kind of thing. And so one of the things you want to be aware of is the fact that you've got two A's and you've got 3 D's. So anything I do to any of the A string, or to one of the A strings, I can do to the other A string. Okay. So one of the first things that Dan does, and I'm not going to get into the harmony of the chords so much because it just gets really confusing. If I go through this chord and that's a D, and I do that, okay, that's a real simple, it looks like an E7 chord, but it's really not an E7 chord. Okay, that is basically a D with a sus4 and a sus6. And it has another A in it here, so I'm adding a G and a B. Okay, and see what I'm doing here on the 5th string. I could also do on the 2nd string. Those notes are the same. So if I wanted to add that, I could do that. Okay, Okay, so we're going to talk about the shapes that work going up the neck. But right here, I'm just using 2 fingers and making it looks like an E7 chord. Again, it's not. I'm playing my second finger's on the 5th string on the 2nd fret, and my first finger's on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. Okay, take that up 2 frets. Okay, and there's another chord that's in the key. This is all diatonically in the key of D. All right. I think there was a bread song if I make a full E chord, not a E7, but I actually put my 3rd finger down there. Now the crazy thing about that is that technically what this is a D chord, and then this is a D with a sus2, a sus4, and a sus6. You're suspending all 3 notes in the triad up to the next note. The triad is 1, 3, 5. So the sus of 1 is going to be 2, the sus of 3 is going to be 4, the sus of 5 is going to be 6. So all of these, when you sus all of those, when you sus any of them, they all want to be resolved. Okay, a sus4 must be resolved. sus2, not always. Okay, sus2 is fine by itself, and sus2 could go up. You can hear it going up to the 3, or you can hear it going down. And then the sus6, you can hear that one going down to the 5. So if I put them all on there like this, they all want to resolve, okay? So, but again, we're going to go back to the E7 shape. Again, I'm saying shape, it's not an E7 chord, so don't think it is, all right? And so I'm going to slide that up, and that's good. So, right, I've got my second finger here, my first finger here. Okay, now I'm going to go up, with my second finger, I'm going to go up 1 fret, and I'm going to put my 3rd finger underneath the same spot on the 5th fret. So I'm doing this. I don't know if you can see that. And I'll put some of these shapes in there in the information window just down below the video. Okay, that's another shape. And then I slide that one up. And so I'm this one is kind of implying this G chord a little bit. It's got 2 of the notes in that G chord. Okay, and then there's also in the G chord, there's D, a D note, GBD. So all 3 of those G strings are going to kind of aid in that. And then if we go up 2 more frets, this is an E and this is a C sharp, I've got an A chord kind of implied. Okay, kind of like, hear that? There's the A chord, and here's this chord. Okay, with a lot of D's in there. So it's got a real strong D tonality. Okay, let's review these chords. Open D, the E7 shape, slide it up, and the 2 fingers on the same fret. Okay, and now we're going to go back to that E7 shape. Okay, for these 2 notes. And so now we're up to here. We got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. Oops. Okay, and then this is F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So that's basically a D chord still. Okay. So, okay. But if I put make it like an E shape with the 3rd finger added as well, now it implies a little bit of a B minor chord. It's getting pretty confusing. I know that. So I'm going to go ahead without the. Keep in mind, I'm keeping the D string open, so it's just 2 strings. I'm playing the 5th string and the 3rd string. Here, open. So I'm doing nothing. Then 2nd and 1st finger there on the 2nd and 1st fret. Slide it up 2. Okay, go to the 2nd and 3rd finger. Slide that up 2. Go up here. 2 more frets with your 2nd finger, but then add your 1st instead of your 3rd. Okay, and then we're going to go back. We're going to go to there. So now I'm at a 10 and 10 on those 2 strings. Okay. Again, I'm still only on the A string and the F sharp string. So the 5th string and the 3rd string. And then I go all the way up here, and now I'm at 12 and 12, which means I just basically might as well be playing the open. Okay. So check this out. I'm going to do a little bit of playing on this so you can kind of get a sense of what you could do with this. Has a really, really cool kind of ringy quality to it. All right, So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do the full E chord here, the E shape. Okay, and I'm going to slide that up 2 frets. All right, and then here I'm going to go ahead and use my second, third, and fourth fingers. So really the chord here is open, 5, 5, 5, open, open. And again, this is really strong, kind of implies a G chord in here. That and then, okay. And then if I do the same thing, slide it here, then here, I'm going to do the kind of the E shape. So here's this is 0, 7, 7, 7, 0, 0. This is 0. And that one's going to be a weird one. Okay, but this one here is going to be 0, 9, 9, 8, 0, 0. So it's like I took this E chord and just slid it all the way up here to the 8th fret. Okay, now this weird one is, okay, I'm going to go 0, 10, 11, 10, 0, 0, and then the last one would be 12, 0, 12, 12, 12, 0, 0. Bringing in a new note into our chord structure. So before we just had 2 notes, and we had a lot of ringing notes that never changed. Okay, this is the hollower one. Okay, this is the first one. The second one's going to be a little bit less open. We're going to have 1 less open string, so we're going to have 3 fretted strings and 3 open strings. So it creates an open sound still, very D, strong D tonality here, but. Bunch of chords right there. Now I'm going to show you another thing we can do. We're going to go back to the E7 chord, okay, and now we're going to because this is an A note and this is an A note, anything we do to the 5th string we can do to the 2nd string, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the E7 shape, but I'm going to put my 3rd finger under here. In a whole nother sound, another quality. And my whole point is to make this very, very simple. If you just start with this E7 shape, you can add the, you can fill in that gap in between the 2 and not have an open D string in the middle, or you can double whatever you're doing on this string, okay? The other thing you can do too is anything you do to the E, any of the D strings you can do to each other. So you can do to the other ones as well. So like if we're doing this, that's, so let me, before I do that, let me show you this other voicing. Okay, so what I basically did was I'm just playing on the middle 2 strings now. So I'm on the D string, or on the 4th string and the 3rd string. 0, 0, 2, 1, 0, 0. Slide that up 2 frets. Go 0, 0, 5, 5, 0, 0. Go 0, 0, 7, 7, 0, 0. And then go again with a staggered kind of 9, it could be 9, 8. And then 11, 10. And then 12, 12 again. This is a pretty fast one. You can do fast stuff with this because you only have 2 fingers and they're on the same string. So it's like. And now I could also mute the E string and do all this on the A string. An A tonality there. Save that E string, or that low D string for the last chord of the song. Okay, so like I said, anything you do to any of the D strings, you can do to each other. So I was playing this phrase. I can take that note, same fret, and just go like this. Now you got something on the melody there. was I played, instead of open, open, 2, 1, open, open, I played open, open, 2, 1, open, 2. Whatever I did on the 4th string, I'm going to do on the 1st string. And slide that up 2 frets. Okay, so I've got open, open, 4, 3, open, 4. And then I'm going to do this shape where I've got the 2 on the same fret. So it's open, open, 5, 5, open, 5. And again, when you put this on the top string, you create a melody up there. It's not all inside changing. All the other stuff was kind of you had the low D string ringing out, and you had all this other stuff happening in the middle, but the top 2 strings were left untouched. So you're kind of creating a melody on top, which you can have a lot of fun with. And you can take it on and off. You don't have to use it all the time. You can go. In fact, with any of these, you can take them on and off and put whatever to create different tonalities within each chord. So, and then you can take that same shape there, the 0, 0, 5, 5, 0, 5, up to 0, 0, 7, 7, 0, 7. Okay, and then we're going to go 0, 0, 9, 8, 0, 9. Okay, and then 0, 0, 11, 10, 0, 11. And now, just so you know, I've not never done any of these chords. Most of these, I never really play an open D. Whenever I play an open D, I'm usually using a slide, and I'm looking for one, and I don't see one. So, so I've not done a lot of playing on this. Was a request from my brother-in-law, like I said, and so it's kind of cool. I like it. I might use it on some stuff. You never know. So as far as the names of the chords are concerned, wouldn't worry about that too much. The whole idea is just to kind of create something beautiful within the tuning. If you want to play a G chord and a C chord and an A minor and E minor and D and whatever, you want to have that tonality, you might be better off going to just a standard tuning and playing it in a standard manner. The open tunings are best when they're you use the chords that kind of naturally found in there. Okay, because we could make minor chords and 7th chords and all those crazy chords. 7th chords aren't that hard, but like D7 would just be 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0. Could add a 9th. But when you start doing it to other chords, it gets more and more complex, and some of the fingerings are very difficult. So start here anyway, and see if this can open up some avenues in the open D tuning, and if not, I'll add some more. Okay? God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye.